Welcome all. Today's topic is going to be on basics of ECG. An ECG graph paper runs at a paper speed of 25 mm per second. Each small block has an area of about 1 millimeter square. So the duration of one small block will be 1 divided by 25, that is equivalent to 0.04 seconds. One large block is made up of 5 small blocks, that makes it to a duration of about 0.2 seconds. The vertical height of each block represents a voltage which is equivalent to 1 millimeter, or in other words it is 0.1 millivolt. If you can see here, one small block is about 0.04 seconds, so one large block duration will be 0.2 second, and the voltage of one large block will be 5 millimeter or half a millivolt. So how does a normal ECG look like? It has a P wave, it has a QRS complex and a T wave. The P wave represents an atrial depolarization with amplitude less than 2.5 mm and a duration less than 0.12 seconds. The PR interval is defined as beginning of P wave to the beginning of QRS complex, and the normal value duration is anywhere between 0.12 to 0.2 seconds. The QRS complex represents a ventricular depolarization whose duration is 0.08 to 0.12 second. ST segment represents a repolarization of the ventricles. So whenever we have an ECG paper, how do we read the paper? And it is under these headings. One, look at the heart rate, look at the rhythm, look if one P wave for each QRS complex is present, look whether the QRS complex is normal. If the rhythm is normal, fine. If it is abnormal, see if any intervention is required. How do you determine the heart rate? It is done by two rules. One is the rule of 300, another one is 10-second rule. Rule of 300 is 300 divided by number of big boxes between two consecutive QRS complexes. For an example, if you see here, it is 300 divided by 6. How did we get 6? That is a number of blocks that is present between two QRS complexes. So the heart rate is about 50 beats per minute. A 10-second rule is used whenever the rhythm is irregular. How is it determined? That is, heart rate is equivalent to number of QRS complexes into 6. Next important thing is to determine the QRS axis or axis in the ECG paper. By normal consensus, it is considered as -30 to +90. If it's a left axis deviation, it is from -30 to -90. If it's a right axis deviation, it is considered +90 to +180. When we have an ECG paper, how do we determine the QRS axis? We have to look for the QRS, whether it's positively deflected or negatively deflected in lead 1 and lead AVF. So if it is positively deflected in both the lead 1 and AVF, it is normal. If it is positively deflected in lead 1 but negatively deflected in AVF, it is left axis deviation. If it is negatively deflected in lead 1 but positively deflected in AVF, it is right axis deviation. So let's consider an example. Here the rhythm is regular. Here the rate is somewhere around between 60 to 100 beats per minute. P wave is visible before each QRS complex. QRS duration is normal. PR interval is less than 5 small squares, that is normal. So this indicates that the electrical signal is generated by the sinus node and traveling in a normal fashion in the heart. So this is a normal sinus rhythm. Thank you. Please subscribe to our Navnak channel and post your like it, and please post your comments. Thank you.